Hey, I'm Gabby, also known as Señorita Gabita. Welcome back or welcome if you're new here. Today's video will be a cozy sketch / draw with me video. I will draw here in my old sketchbook. I want to finish it soon, so it's my main focus at the moment to do some sketchbook session. And I found an old sketch page where I did for some sticker designs for the last Valentine's updates, and I didn't color it up, so I thought it will be perfect to color it now with you together. I'm using acrylic markers from Ohuhu, but I will also use some from arrtx and shuttle art as well. So I will combine 3 acrylic marker brands in this sketchbook spread. As always, I'm preparing my setup, placing all the acrylic markers around me, also the color swatching paper and a blank tiny paper as well, where I can test out the colors before I go on into my illustration. And then I started to color up the first guinea pig. As you can see, all the theme is around my furry guinea pigs. Some of them are related to Valentine's Day, but also some to spring. And all the illustration that you can see here on the sketchbook spread are already made into stickers. So you can find them in my shop if you want to have them or like them. You can find them there. And I also thought that I will introduce myself here in this video, so you will get to know me while drawing in your own sketchbook or whatever you are doing while watching this video. So let's start. And my nickname here in Germany is Gabby or Gabi, and my grandparents always called me Gabita. So with the nickname of them, Gabita, I decided to create my handle here on YouTube and on my other social media accounts. So it turned into Señorita Gabita. That's the main story behind my handle name. And yes, I was born here in Germany, in Frankfurt, and then we moved back to Peru, Lima, because my mother is Peruvian, and then I spent all my childhood there. And I always tell my friends or other people when I'm introducing myself, I had the best time of my life in Peru as a child. I went there to kindergarten and also to the first class of primary school, and I really love it. We lived there some time in an apartment, but then we moved into the house of my grandparents, so I was living with them together as well, and it was very peaceful. I was also surrounded by nature, had a very lovely garden, and I also had 2 dogs and a parrot, a turtle, and it was a very magical time living there. And I remember all the things with a warm heart, and I missed the time where I was very free spirit without any bad experience, and I really adored the time back then, and it was a very great time. I had also a tiny house near the beach, so I also spent my time at the beach, in the ocean, swimming a lot, and yes, living my best life. And then we moved to Germany after, I think, when I was 7 years old or 8. It was around 2001, and I came then to the 2nd class of primary school here in Germany. And then I started to notice some differences in the culture as well. Because the people, also in my experience, the people in Peru are very open and friendly and warm-hearted. And in Germany is similar to the cold temperature and weather. The people are also, it depends of course, very cold. And I don't know, I wasn't feeling at the beginning very welcomed in this old tiny town where we moved in. And also the children were a little bit rude in my opinion, because I could speak German, of course, because in Peru I was going to a private German school and we learned there German and Spanish as well, so I was fluent in both languages. But I was more confident in speaking Spanish because I was living there and my grandparents were also speaking Spanish with me, so my German had a few flaws, but it was enough to pick on me all the time because of that. And yes, it was not that great growing up here in Germany and noticed the differences and the racism also against my mother. And it was a very huge impact in my life. Experienced this negative sides of people, and it also shaped my own personality. So I always wanted to move out from this tiny town, either going back to Peru at the time or moving to a bigger city where I was hoping that the people will be more open-minded and also that I could meet there a more multicultural atmosphere and surrounded by people who are already experienced with humans from different countries, with different heritage backgrounds and so on. So yes, this is one of the parts of my life that really did a huge impact and also transferred a little bit to my art as well, because I always try to bring some aspect from my life in Peru, from my childhood, like for example the vibrance of the colors from the nature, from the animals as well, including my parrot, or including the love to animals as well, because I grew up with many animals. So because of this negative experience, I try to bring my very positive memories from Peru into my art. So, and then after primary school, I went to the middle school in the same town, and because of my very unhappy experience, I turned into a very introverted child. I was very quiet and I really loved to draw and spend my time reading books and also spending time alone. So it was very difficult to find a group of friends because most of them are very extroverted and it didn't fit well. I met hopefully some good friends that I still have in my life and I have still contact, but it was a very rough time because my class was also very loud and I couldn't concentrate that well. I also didn't want to go to school or to go to sport class, so yeah, it was difficult, and also my grades weren't that well because of all the things happening around me. Also at the same time my parents got divorced, so it was also not very positive, but this was my childhood. It turned out better in life when I moved then to together with my mom, where I was living with her. And then after the middle school I went to a high school, but it was focused in design and arts, and it was around 1 hour of drive with the train to get to the school. So I was very exhausted each day, waking up at 6 or 5 a.m. in the morning, and then I was back at 5 p.m. at home, and then I have still do my homeworks and paint and draw for my classes. So I was very exhausted all the time, but I learned a lot. I had class in ceramics about a year, also photography, technical drawing, and besides of the typical stuff like mathematics, German lesson, English lessons. Besides that, I had all the creative lessons as well in my schedule during the high school phase. And there I also wanted to have a profession in this field. staying creative, creating. And that's why I decided to go to a private university for graphic design. And I don't know if I would say this was a huge mistake in my life or not, because there I learned a lot how to make composition for advertisement. I learned different technique like lino cut printing or wood printing. I also had the possibility to learn more about photography or about design in general, about typography, how to work with Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, all the graphic design programs. And yes, I learned new skills that I still use here from my art content creator job, but it also impacted my mental health a lot because, as I said, it was a private university, so I had to pay each month a huge amount of money. And I was living, as I said, with my mother, who is a single mom, so it was difficult for us to pay the monthly payment for the university. And I was also working in a mini job to cover up all the expenses, and I also had to drive each day from Monday to Friday to Frankfurt from my old town, and it was around, sum it up, it was each day 4 hours drive, and then doing all the stuff for the deadlines, creating booklets, magazines, posters, and so on. And of course, I had to pay all the booklets on my own and all the posters, so this was also an expense on top of the monthly payment that I had to do. So I was really struggling each time, and I also was thinking to drop out of this graphic design student because of the expenses, and I wasn't feeling that well to create under pressure creative work, but I already had paid that much, so I stick to it, and I graduated with the best grades ever. I had, in German is 1.0 is the best grade that you can have, so I was very happy and proud about myself that I achieved it, besides all the struggles that I had. And then I tried to get an internship, and it was very difficult because here in Germany all the creative design work fields are dominated by males, and they don't really accept newcomers, especially when you are a female. And I experienced this in a hard way, and that's where I started to get a burnout related to my creativity. I hated to draw, and every time I was trying to draw, I felt an immense pressure, and I stopped drawing because of that around 6 to 7 years. And I also decided to stop working in this field, and then I started to study art history and to achieve a second degree. And since then, I'm a student in art history. I did my bachelor degree, and now I'm working on my master thesis. I'm in the end of my master thesis. I only have to write an internship paper that I'm working right now. And then I can start with my master thesis. I can start writing and do more research, and then I'm finally finished with my master degree. And I think to stop working in this graphic design space was the right decision for me, because I started to love drawing again. It took some time to come back to drawing because of the anxiety that I felt every time, and also with the unsatisfaction about my art. I couldn't accept what I was drawing. I always saw the flaws, and I wanted to draw each time my sketchbook in the bin. So I had to learn again to accept my drawings and to accept that this will be always a journey where you're still improving each time, and you will never create a perfect art piece. But I think I came finally to the point where I really enjoy drawing. And then when I was at this point, I started again to share my drawings to social media, and I started to share my sketchbook pages to Instagram. I also created reels, and then I had luck during the COVID pandemic that some of my reels went viral, and I reached with some of them 1 million views. And this was the point where I started to get more reach and more engagement, and the possibility to create content with my art, and the possibility to earn money. And then a new passion was created, and I was very happy to be finally able to pursue this passion of art creation, and maybe to make this like an income, to make it like a side hustle. And I realized that this is what I wanted to do in my life. Of course, I want to finish my master degree in art history and to find a job in this field, but I consider to make it like a part-time job so that I can still do the things that I really love, like here, creating YouTube videos, showing you my daily insights in my art business, how I manage all the stuff, creating art vlogs, also reviewing art supplies, or like this video, a sketch with me video, showing you how I use the supplies. Maybe I can help you and to show you my art journey. And this is one thing that I really want to keep going. And yes, I'm very, very happy that I'm finally in one point of my life that I really know what I want to do. And this is also possible because you are very supportive, and without the huge engagement in Instagram, I think I wouldn't be here on YouTube creating videos again, or creating art in general. I also find new hobbies again from my past, like crocheting. It was in the past a huge part of my life, and it came back. And yes, I really enjoy being creative again. And yes, I'm doing right now my master thesis, as I said. I'm also living in Frankfurt. I moved, I think, 4 years ago with my partner together in our first apartment. And I have also since 4 years my guinea pigs. They are also a huge part of my life, and they help me overcome also some art blocks, or my main inspiration, I would say, are my guinea pigs now. Together with my memories from my childhood, from Peru, all the colors, the memories are combined with my furry guinea pigs, and these are my main inspiration for my art. So I'm really happy that I have my guinea pigs. They are very helping me when I'm struggling each day, and yes. And they always make me happy when I see them each day in the mornings when they are talking to me. They are very talkative. I always try to record them when they are talking or screaming at me, but when they see that I pick up my phone, they went silent. So maybe I will be able someday to record them, and then I can show it to you, because this is very cute. And yes, this is a little bit of a summary about my life, a little bit depressive, I would say, but I wanted to tell you this because this really shaped my art. And I think it's very interesting how people can turn this experience into art, and how they transfer it, and how the look of the arts can be very different depend of the person. And I really love to know the person behind the art as well when I'm Also watching other artists here on Instagram or YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this sketching session, the cute fairy guinea pigs, but also to know me better. And if you have any question about me, maybe to the graphic design studio or my profession as well, feel free to comment down below. And if you have something in mind what you want to see next about, for example, any new art supplies that you want to see a review or so on, or a tutorial, let me know as well. I will be very happy to include your ideas in my next videos as well. And yes, this is all what I have to say about this video. I hope you like it, and if this is the case, don't forget to leave a thumb up, to subscribe and push the notification bell. Stay creative, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.